Greetings, greetings, family. Peace and blessings. As I always say, spend black, believe in black, always be black, feel proud to be black, and do everything that can allude to being your blackness. This is Terry Riggs, Mr. Riggs, your UK tour guide to the rest of the world. And I'm with my co-host, Brother Richie.
That's all, people. Big up, big up, big up. Big up to everybody joining us in the chat room. It's going to be a good show. I've already had fun, and I haven't even been online that long, but the brother has already tantalized me with some juicy bits of information. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to today's show. I know Terry's been looking forward to this conversation for a hot minute now. Yeah, and we tried to highlight this brother before, but had some technicals, so I'm really happy to have him today. So yeah, Terry, introduce the brother and let's begin this convo.
Okay, as you know about the numerology, and there's only one grandmaster in numerology. You've seen him all over the United States and all around, and he's like one of the top guys that teaches the numerology, that taught me the numerology. And I can't forget his name, Mr. King Simon himself. He's always been telling me about these things. Then I went to Queen Afua. Queen Afua told me about these things, and I couldn't stop hearing these. And I said I had to see this guy. And when I met this guy in New York, he was amazing. But you know what? As respect to our elders, we allow the elders to introduce themselves in the right way that they see fit for themselves. So we pass the buck to you.
You talking about you, Riggs, or you, Richie?
No, I'm talking about the one in the middle.
Listen, it's nice to know I'm looked at or respected as an elder. But you know what? See, for me, let me explain. An elder, I take it as somebody, of course, they're older. Of course, that's why they call them elder. But an elder, in a sense that we think of it, as one who spreads knowledge, share it, that I do too. But I always like to think of myself as a student. That way I'm constantly learning. But if I think I'm an elder and know everything, then I start learning nothing. So I'm always in a constant student mode. But thanks for the compliment, guys. I am Lloyd. My name is Lloyd STRANYHORN. I am called an astronumerologist. That means one who has a gift of combining both astrology, which is the study of the planets and the zodiac signs in the heavens, and numerology, which is a metaphysical way of looking at numbers. Because you cannot do anything in this world without having numbers or use numbers in some way, shape, or form, which we gave a little exercise demonstration before we actually came on the air. But every single one, if you are a human being and you walk this planet Earth, you got a number. If you're not born on some month, some day, some year, please contact me, because I'd like to know how you got here. Okay? Because there's only one way, but you are a number, and these numbers guide you. They guide you in a way that it can tell you, if a person can be in the wrong place at the wrong time, why can't they be in the right place at the right time? Well, that's what numerology does. It denotes your character, your strengths, your weaknesses. Numerology can tell you what your lucky numbers are, your best days out of the week, your best dates out of the month, your best months out of the year, your best years out of the decade, your best ages and important years of changes. I mean, and I got into this totally by accident. You know, I was into astrology, but then I said numbers, numerology, the numbers only go from 1 to 9. And the way numbers work, so a person will say, okay, numerology 1 to 9. Well, what about 10, Lloyd? Well, 1 plus 0 is back to 1. Well, what about 11? 1 plus 1 is back to 2. And so it goes. So these are octaves. It's like a piano. There's a middle C, then there's a higher C, then there's a lower C. These are octaves. So if you got a person born on the 3rd, that's as well as a person born on the 12th, because 1 plus 2 is 3. Then you got another person born on the 21st, 2 plus 1 is 3. And then you have another person born on the 30th. They're all 3s. So let's take my number, a 7. So let's say you got a person born on the 7. Then you got another person born on the 16, because 1 plus 6 is 7. And then you have another person born on the 25th, and 2 plus 5 is 7. But let me tell you what really got me hooked. Now, astrology and numerology works well, but astrology, where do I have it? Astrology, or I should say numerology, does something that no other branch of the metaphysics does, and that is take your name into consideration. You go to an astrologer, they need your birthday. You go to a numerologist like myself, we need your birthday. But people don't walk around like, okay, I know Rich is a Virgo. I know you, Terry's a Scorpio, right? So after we do this show, right, we'll talk about our signs and we'll talk about our numbers a bit. But when we get back into regular mode, we're saying, yo, Richie, yo, Terry. So your first name denotes your natural talents, gifts, skills, and abilities, even if you did not go to school. So that's why the name will not only tell you that, but it will tell you the kinds of parents you may have been born under by way of their zodiac signs, or it can tell who named you by that way. It tells me the people that are drawn to you, the way you wind up teaching them rather than they teaching you. And it's a whole lot of things. This thing is absolutely amazing. So I wound up writing 6 books on the subject.
Okay. So, you know, as a child, was you always into numbers, or it took a period of time to come into numbers?
Well, let me say this. People think because I'm a numerologist that I was a great math student. Not true. I mean, I got C's and D's. D's were for delightful, okay? And C was for charming. That's how I looked at my grades in school. So, well, what happens is, because I got into the astrology part, I think once I discovered or unearthed or came across this subject called numerology, it really got me started on the path to liking numbers. So I'm a great numerologist. I'm the best on the planet, in fact. However, if you ask me to solve an algebraic problem, you will be greatly disappointed. If you ask me to look at something from a statistical point of view, you will be disappointed, or a geometry point of view, whatever the case is. I kind of stay in my lane. But when it comes to the metaphysical, the esoteric or hidden, mystical, magical side of numbers, that's me.
You know, in forms of the numbers, right? As we know, from 0 to 1, and then from 0 to 9. Could you just elaborate on each number? Just a short quote on numbers, sure, like as if in the books.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is when I talk about the number 1, I'm going to include the zodiac signs that rules it and the dates of birth. So people, that way, by the time I finish with all the 9 numbers, everybody should have a feeling of being in. Talking about the number 1 rules the zodiac sign of Leo, first of all. So this would represent any Leos as well as anyone born on the 1st, the 10th, the 19th, or the 28th. A winner, they say, always comes in number 1. That's why 1s are leaders. They're your pioneers. They go where no other person has gone before. They're the first to do this. They're the first to do that. They denote a lot of originality. They do not take orders well. Somebody asked, what about the nickname? I'll get to that later. The nickname is like the pet name, as we call it here in the States, or nicknames too. But so number 1s are very individualistic. The best days for a number 1 is always on Sunday and Tuesday. Their best months are always in February, April, and August. And number 1s are ruled by the element of fire. That means they have a lot of passion, drive, energy, conviction. And this is why they are groundbreakers. So here's what I'm saying. You'll have a number one person, and they'll be there that say, you know, you're the first to leave home. You're the first to go to school. You're the first to finish school. You're the first to do this. You're the first to do that. 9 times out of 10, that was not their intention, but they wound up being number ones. 2, and I'll kind of keep it short because I can't talk run-on sentences. 2 is just the opposite of 1s, where 1s are assertive and aggressive. 2s are very passionate and patient, okay? They take their times. They use a more persuasive approach to get what they want rather than a forceful, aggressive approach to get what they want. This would mean anybody born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th of any month, because those are all 2s. And astrologically, this would refer to Cancerians, okay? Because 2s are nurturing, caring, sharing, artistic. They're very romantic, by the way. And I say with a number 2, they need a hug at least twice a day, okay? It can be the physical or through words of kindness, words of actions, things like that. That's how they do. 2 rules, the number 2 rules Monday, and the number 2 rules the period of late June into July. All righty. So now let's go to the number 3. Now that's you, Terry. All right. 3s are very creative. Oh, first of all, 3 rules the signs of Pisces and Sagittarians. So although you are a Scorpio and you're born on the 3rd, if you got some Pisces and Sagittarian family members, friends, relationships, things like that, that would come as no surprise to me. This would also include anybody born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of any month. You would also be included in this description. 3 people are very creative. 3 people are very ambitious. 3s want to make something of themselves. I mean, you know, they either want to get some recognition or whatever the case is, but they, like number 1 people, want to rise to the top. Okay. They are very determined when told they can't do this, that, and the other. They are determined to just go beyond that and exceed and go past that. Okay. So when you tell a person, a 3 especially, you're going to be a failure, believe me, you better get out their way, because they're going to roll up their shirt sleeve and everybody is coming through. I guarantee you. Thursday is the best day for number 3 persons. Also, their best months would be in March and December. Okay. Those would be the magic months for them. Number 4 people. 4 is symbolized by the sign of Aquarius, and this would also include anyone who is born on the 4th of any month, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of the month as well. 4s love to be different. Everybody goes in that direction. The number 4 will go in this direction. They tend to do just the opposite. This is why 4 people have what are called secret enemies, not because of a character flaw or personality defect. It's just that 4s just like to be different. They like to think outside the box, but the price they pay for it are people who are jealous, envious, or insecure with them as a result. This would not only, and for 4 people, their best day is always on a Sunday, where their best times of the year is always in and around February, June, and August as a rule. Each number has their strong points. And once you know how to capitalize on that, and once we join in with some of our viewers that are watching, answer some of their questions, that will help, because after this, I'll explain about the nickname. Then now you have a number 5. 5 rules Geminis and Virgos. So if you're a Gemini Virgo, numerically, from my perspective, you are a number 5 person. Or perhaps you're born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of any month. All right. 5 rules Wednesday. 5 rules anybody who's smart, talented, engaging. 5. It's interesting, Terry, because where Scorpio is considered the sex sign in astrology, 5 is considered the sex number in numerology. Okay. So, and then not just so much about sex, but they do more than that. For example, 5s are very multifaceted, multi-talented, multidimensional. They would do well in areas connected with business and commerce and science and travel and literary fields and things of that nature. They will also do well too, as far as they're concerned. And to hold on to a 5, you got to let them go. It's ruled by the element of air. 5 rules Wednesday. That's their best day. It also rules the months of late May going into June and late August going into the month of September. Okay. And we're going to be getting to 9 in a few moments for Cleo. Jones that just joined us. 5 people, don't forget, the secret to holding on to a number 5 is to let them go. Because when a 5 does settle down, they'll probably settle down with that person that gave them the most breathing room. And if you understand that it's ruled by air, it makes sense. Next is number 6. Well, number 6 rules anyone, astrologically speaking, under the sign of Taurus or Libra. Numerically, anyone born on the 6th of any month, the 15th, or the 24th of any month, because 1 plus 5 is 6 and 2 plus 4 is 6. Now, 6 is the charm of the number. 6 is ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty and balance and perfection. 6s always have this charm about them. The men are handsome and good looking. The women are gorgeous and attractive, okay, as a rule, all right? 6 people tend to do well advising people, counseling people. On one side, they would do well in the areas of sports, the arts, business like real estate, banking, working for the government. And so these and the best day for number 6 is always on a Friday. Their best month are always late April going into May. So in about another week and a half, as we move from Aries into Taurus, 6s and Tauruses, they get their turn. And then another one would be from late September into October under the sign of Libra. So thus for them as number 6s, it's May and October more than anything else. My mind's got so much information I want to share. Now, number 7 people, that means anyone under the sign, astrologically speaking, of Cancer and Pisces. Numerically, anyone born on the 7th of any month, the 16th of any month, because 1 plus 6 is 7, or the 25th of any month, because 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 is a number all to itself. It likes to be its own best company. It has a mind of its own. It likes to think for itself. It can be very sarcastic. It can be the kind of number that, you don't know whether you've just been insulted or what by the time they finish with something. They tend to analyze and inspect. Normally with a Virgo combination and a person born on the 7, because 7 is a literary number, 5 is a literary number. So when I see that combination, like a Scorpio 7, like on the September, actually start August 25th, September 7th, September 16th, and in a minor way, the 25th, like Will Smith of September. They normally have a lot of books or magazines or newspapers, or they're very knowledgeable about whatever their goals or passions or occupations that they've gone into. They're normally experts in it. Very rarely does a person question the 7. Monday is their best day, okay? It also means their best months are always in, March and July, more than any other time of the year. By the way, 7s love to worry. Number 8, that would rule astrologically anyone under the zodiac sign of Capricorn and Aquarius, which I'll explain later, or anyone who is born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of any month. 8s are very determined, yet misunderstood. But yet, although 8s give off the impression of being cold or detached or lacking in feelings and affections, actually, they're warm, they're loyal, they're faithful. And when misunderstood, the 8s always look to the heavens for divine justice, because the people down here just don't get it, okay? So 8 rules Saturday, okay? It also rules the month of January. That's their strong period, where Saturday is their best day. And as I guess, as they say, saving the best for last, and I'll get to 0 too. 9 governs anybody astrologically under the signs of Aries and Scorpio. Numerically, it means anybody born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of any month. One of your viewers just flashed across the page. They were born November, the same day as Bruce Lee and Robin Givens and Julio Urkel, all these other people. But 9s don't take no stuff from nobody. Be very clear how they roll, okay? You do not sell 9s wolf tickets. You do not base them. You do not boss them around. 9s do not like that, because the nature of a 9 is they like to be the master of their fate. Thank you. The captains of their ship. All right. 9s also exhibit strong will, grit, and determination that no matter what you do, if you want to go physical, verbally, mentally, we down. Okay. And so nines like to be in control, and they are universal, global, and international. The best day for 9 is always on a Tuesday. Their best months are normally in April, like right now this month, as well as the month of November. And that's for the 0. You know, people ask me, does the 0 count? Well, if you look at a computer, the computer is actually composed of ones and zeros. Basically, when you get down to the essence of it, all it is ones and zeros running across the series. Terry and Richie, here's what I like to do. Anytime when people talk about a 0, right, I'll put on the board $1 and I put a comma behind it and I put a 0. And people don't want me to stop zeros because the more zeros you got, the more powerful that one becomes. So astrologically, it governs Capricorn and Aquarius. It is ruled by the planet Saturn. Its best day is on Saturday, and its best months are during January and February. So nobody's born on a 0 date. Now you might be born on the 10th, the 20th, or the 30th. Nobody's born on the 40th. Okay. So if so, I need to know where you come from, how you got here, how you pull that off. Get back to me or get back to Terry or Richie to do that. But it just shows you the power of numbers. So it's 1 to the 10th power, 2 to the 10th power, 3 to the 10th power, or whatever the case is. Numbers also tells you something about your address, where you live. It also tells you about your health, the color, the gemstone, things like that. And in fact, this is one of the books I've written. This is, I've got to learn how this thing works. This is my main book, Numbers in You. It's like the Bible. It's available on Amazon.com. It's probably in your local bookstores there in the UK and host places around the world. This book is sold all over. And then I have what is called a relationship book, because everybody wants to know about relationships. So this is called Lloyd's Numbers in You Relationship Guide, because I got to be honest, from the womb to the tomb, we're always in a relationship, guys. The first relationship starts with our mom and dad, then brothers and sisters, then nieces and nephews, grandparents, aunts and uncles, then schoolmates, then girlfriend, boyfriend, then husband, wife, then kids, then grandkids. I mean, there's always, and I think when people talk about relationship, they always think it's boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Every time you, Richie, and you, Terry, are in a relationship, it's a business relationship. You see what I'm saying? But I try to widen the scope, that don't narrow your perspective about a relationship. Why do you get along better with one neighbor than another? Why do you get along better with one brother or sister than another? Well, it's about the energy that we have. There's some numbers that are very friendly to each other. There's some numbers that are not. But when you get into numerology, you learn how to understand all the numbers, and therefore no one works your nerves. I think it's amazing. And then I do have an online course, and this is the workbook. It's called Lloyd's Book of Numbers Workbook. It's a 10-part course I have to teach people how to do this. And so that's how they learn.
But yeah, Lloyd, you know that you do a course, an online course.
Yes.
For people to check out. Where, how can they get to that course?
Okay. One of the simplest ways is go to my website. My website is Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Let me give it to you. LLOYD-Strayhorn, just like it sounds. STRAYHORN.com. So it's Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. So when you open up my landing pages, they call it in the business, and you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that they can sign on to my Udemy course. And my course is called Learn from Lloyd, How to Read a Person Like a Book. And of course, you won't be able to do it like I do. I've been doing this a number of years. That's like a couch potato sitting there watching a professional soccer athlete and then think he's going to go up, get off that couch and do the same thing you just saw the guy do on the screen. It's not going to happen. They know that with practice, persistency and consistency and effort and dedication, sweat, a little, bump and knock on the butt a second, they wind up being great, just like those people they see. So you will too. But the one thing of all the metaphysical branches, I guarantee you, numerology is the easiest to learn. If you know how to count from 1 to 10, or at least from 1 to 9, you got this. So you go to my site, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, you scroll down a bit, and you'll see your Udemy class. I'll see a picture of me holding in fact, these 3 books I just showed you, and just click and sign on. Right now, I'm glad to say I have close to 800 students, and this hasn't even been up 2 months yet, but I got 800 students. Short of the United States, guys, most of my students are coming out of the UK, believe it or not. So the bulk of them are here in the US, but the second position is there in the UK. And so again, it's called Learn from Lloyd, How to Read a Person Like a Book. The nice thing about it is I guarantee you, and you talk to those that signed on, if you email me with a question, I will email you back with an answer. How are you going to learn if you don't? So that's how.
Okay. Let's go through this year, because this year has been a year where we're all indoors and nothing's really happening. In forms of what we can see throughout the whole year, how do you see it in forms of numbers?
Well, you know, it's interesting. This year, 2020, is the year of the 4. In other words, it would be considered a 4 universal year. For people who are there saying, huh, what do you mean? What you do is you take the year 2020, right? 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 equals 4. So last year was the year of the 3. Next year, 2021 will be the year of the 5. Then the following year, the year of the 6 or whatever. When I do the 4, I always say that 4 is symbolized as a box, that a person is boxed in physically, emotionally, psychologically, financially. But the point, they're boxed in. In this case, literally, practically half the world, if not most of it, is boxed in. Okay. And what it means is there are limitations, there are restrictions, there are boundaries and borders that you have to do. It's very fitting. 4 in numerology, for my years and many, many years of doing this, I consider it the health number. In my business of doing this so long and writing books and teaching countless students, that I have derived that the health numbers, anytime you want to know about the health of a person, a nation, a city, a town, or conditions of things, those numbers tend to be the number 4, which this year is, the number 6, and the number 9. So when going through those years, these will be health issues. So for example, when I went to China a couple of years ago, they're into numbers. Their lucky numbers are 8s and 6s. Okay. Those are good numbers. If you get any product from China, look at the number that's normally on the box. It'll either add up to an 8 or a 6. I guarantee you. Pull out something you got from China, a drone, a product, whatever the case is. They always either have the number 8 or the number 6 along the box, because these are their magical numbers. Well, just the reverse for the number 4. If you say the number 4 in Chinese, that sounds like death to them. So the number 4 is considered a bad luck number. Okay. And so therefore, this would be a health cycle for the universe in some way, shape, or form. And as I told you, 4 is a very strange, odd, and unusual number. Okay. It started in China, in Wuhan. When you do Wuhan, W-U-H-A-N, under the Chaldean Pythagorean system, that adds up to a 22, and 2 plus 2 is 4, from which it emanated. And in fact, of the whole region of China, Wuhan has just finally got, okay, all you guys can come out and integrate, but even then they're still wearing masks and gloves and things like that. Okay. So it means something odd and unusual, very, very different. But 4 means this. It's the kind of year that you have to make an effort. A lot of people like easy street now. You know, live me, give me, can you spare? Is it free? Is it nothing? Nothing happens like that. That the real world really don't work like that. I mean, and this is why we need to get out of that habit. We're terrible here in the United States, African Americans. Yo, brother, live me, give me, can you spare? We're not, listen, Black people in this country are starving in the midst of plenty. Why do you think people can come into our communities, stay there a couple of years, build up, expand their establishments, and even go somewhere else and establish others? Because we are the source of all the resources. First of all, we are the original man. And don't take it personal, guys. That's a historical fact, okay? But the point is to have that kind of understanding that numbers are very important. Numerology, and I'll be very clear, numerology is an ancient African science. What do I mean? Well, everybody knows about the pyramids of Giza. And in fact, from the satellites in space, the only man-made objects or construction is the Great Wall of China and the pyramids, okay, of Giza. Well, what makes these pyramids so unique is that they're built at the exact center of the earth. I repeat, these pyramids are built at the exact center of the earth. And if you just Google pyramids, they will tell you that the pyramids have been in alignment with the solar system, the passing of seasons to seasons, of stars. I mean, you got to know numbers. So since it started, and to this day, they still haven't figured out exactly how these stones to the pyramids were erected in place, because each of these stones, each of the bricks or stones weigh tons in and of themselves. All right. So math is of African origin. And in fact, they give Pythagoras credit for being the father of mathematics, or numerology rather. But my question is, how can you go into another person's land and study for 22 years and come back and be the daddy? I just don't get that. I don't think I could go to any other nation, study for 22 years, and I'm going to claim myself the father of this, that, and the other when I learned it from them. So this is very important. So sometimes people like to get it twisted. Oh, you're saying things about these people, that people. No, I'm just being very honest. So people get a sense of how this all originated. When I talked to Dr. Benyekin, and God bless his soul, that passed on, he talked about the pyramids. He talked about the hieroglyphics and the horoscope and the numerical symbols inside the walls of the pyramids. Okay. So this is very ancient stuff. So our thing is to kind of reclaim some of this, because we are the best at this. And it's not another challenge or affront to any ethnicity, any other group, but to understand our importance and our value. And nobody can do it better than we can when whatever we do. And so with numerology, it is a very easy, ancient African science that everybody should learn. And if you can take my course, it'll be great. Just a little plug a second. Just go to Lloyd-STRANYHORN.com and sign on, and you'll have access to me. You will. I don't disappear. I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. Okay.
So if there's anyone that would like their numbers, give a few people the privilege to come on board. If you're interested, just put a 1 to your name, and then we'll put in the link into the chat, and we will see if we can get you on to ask your questions. But if you have any questions at this precise moment, please do ask.
And Terry, while those questions are coming in at your suggestion, I want to show people how simple it is. I teach online what is called the Pythagorean system. This is a system that goes from 1 to 9. And as you see, what you do is you take the numbers from 1 to 9, and then you just put in your alphabet. Okay. So this is how I could do your name. This is I can do G's name. And to give you an example, once you do this, this is my name, because everybody's always in my business. So I said, okay, let me put my name up there. Okay. So that's what my name looks like when transposed from letters into numbers, because these numbers, again, denote your natural talents, gifts. All of us come with it. It's just how to tap into it and then how to take advantage of it. But every single person who walks this planet Earth have some gift to offer the world, but it all depends on how they're thinking. Here in this country, I don't know what they do in the UK. Here in this country, they got everybody following celebrities, personalities, and they got them people looking in everybody's backyard except looking in your own backyard. And and there was this, I forgot his name. He's a motivational speaker, but he was saying it was called acres of diamonds that under your very own feet might be a gold mine. But again, we are so busy staring in somebody else's direction that we don't look down underneath our own feet and see that we could be on a gold mine. It's just what we do or don't do with it. And that's one of the things of also being shed in too. Shed in conditions, although people are locked in and people are complaining, this is one of the best times. When we come out of this, you know what's going to come out of it too? A lot of great ideas, a lot of great concepts, a lot of great inventions and discoveries. I guarantee you. Somebody going to be bored to death looking at their kids all day, bored to death looking at their lady or their guy all day, bored at watching TV. And therefore, what they're going to do, let me come up with something or discover something, okay? And then you got people who see numbers, like one person coming, she sees 1111, 1212, 000. Well, these numbers have subconscious meanings also. There is so much to this. It's actually fascinating. So now I like to ask you this. People are coming across the screen. Do I ask this? This is Mighty Thesaurus. Should I answer what I see on the screen?
But we've just got someone that's just come in. One of our fellow guys on your side of the pond. His name is George Macon.
Okay.
George, would you like to ask some questions? But before you do that, can we have your birthday, please?
7/30/76.
7:30. Okay. What's your name? So I show respect. Your name
George,
is
George Macon.
George Macon. Okay. George, first of all, you are a fire sign with a fire number. You are old when you're young, and you're going to get young when you get old. In other words, more than likely, you may have had an affair or brief introduction through Sex 101 with an older woman. However, as you've gotten older, they're going to become decidedly younger, and you're also going to attract women from different cultures too, which is why you need to learn a second language. You're very ambitious, always want to make something of yourself, and when people challenge you about you are not able to do this and you never get that done, all this simply does is make you rise to the occasion. From your birthday, your lucky numbers are the 3, 1, and 4. It means you will attract anybody born in the months of February, March, August, and December, primarily more than anything else. Okay, and this year you're at a crossroads. You're trying to make a decision. Which way should I go? Last year you had to work your cookies off. This year it's about making sure that your game is tight, that you want to take advantage of any and all opportunities, but you need to know which way you need to turn at this point. And that's where you are. You're like at a fork in the road.
Hey, everything you said is on, and it's funny because my wife, I'm a Leo. My wife is an Aquarius, and they say, she's the opposite of me, but she's a 1. She's a 1. She's born February 12th, 1976.
Now, if she's born February the 12th, she's a 3, because 1 plus 2 is 3.
Yeah, I was saying
here's
life
the
path number. Yeah.
But see, here's the point. See, let me tell you, the life path or birth path that George is referring to, gang, means you take the total of the month, the day, and the year you are born. That means while you're here, what is your journey? Why am I here? What does all this mean? Well, by taking the month, the day, and the year you're born and adding those numbers together, it indicates that your life path, birth force, they're all kind of they refer to it. But the point is to, what we're going to learn over the long term. But when I meet people, George, they want to know what's going on for me right this minute. Therefore, I go to the date of birth. But here's the point. You're born on the 30th. 3 plus 0 is 3. Your mate is born 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So that means, of course, we men don't know, but if you ask the midget, she'll tell you you're probably met or went out on your date late Wednesday night into Thursday or Thursday into Friday night, that you'll probably met or start dating anywhere around late February into March, late November into December, or you may have married, in fact, on those days, or married in a year like, let's say, 2010, or something of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But your numbers are the 3, 1, and 4, and her numbers are the 3, 4, and 1. You got the same numbers, but in a different sequence. That's
is that why she get? Is that why she get on my nerves? But I love her. Is that why she get on my nerves? But I love her so much. She get on my nerves, but I love her so much because our numbers are so lined up.
Yep, and you probably work her nerves too, because we guys are no different. Okay.
That's all.
I would like to ask you a question, sir. On
Yes.
what month and year did you get married? This beautiful queen of yours.
October
2012.
2012.
2012, but what date?
October
In October.
13th. October 13th.
Okay, that
You
would
bet
be noted.
right.
4. 1 plus 3 is 4. Your numbers are the 3, 1, and 4. Her numbers are the 3, 4, and 1. Okay,
Wow.
so do you have children by any way?
Yes.
How many children?
We got one together.
Good, that's all you need. Boy or girl?
A boy.
What's your son's birthday?
November 2nd.
Okay, now this young man is how old is your son?
12.
12.
12. Okay. When he was born, I would describe him as being the crybaby in the bunch. I got a special chapter in my book, Numbers in You, on numerology in your child. Crybaby, not in the sense that they always cry, but number 2 children are very, very sensitive. They're picky and fussy about their eating habits. She was probably up on the mommy all the time, where she couldn't get no rest. Probably he'd be right up under her in the bed. Two people are very sensitive, and they like to collect things, and they find it hard to throw things away. So if he's into hobbies, collecting cars or toys or stamps or stuff, that doesn't surprise me. Very detailed and very, very intuitive, by the way, your son. Very intuitive. He can tell whether a person is lying or flying, as they say here in the States. So if you says, let's say I came to your house and you said, son, shake hands with Lloyd, and he ain't feeling me, I'd pay attention to Lloyd, okay? Because your son is telling you things that he can't describe to you in an adult way, but in an intuitive way, he is saying, I'm not feeling that, brother. For whatever reason, and that's all that counts.
Okay. I need I needed this to learn the numbers.
What year was your son born in?
2007.
Okay. And by the way, your son's lucky numbers, born on the 2nd of November, would be the 2, 7, and 6. And in fact, in numerology, there are 3 psychic numbers. Those are 2, 6s, and 7. Your son possessed all 3 of them. He would also do well in the mechanical, mathematical sciences, computers, engineering, technology, IT, stuff like that. He'd also do well in the preparations of foods.
How do I gotta with him? Because I've been trying to get that with him. He loves the video games. With those numbers lined up, how do I get him to how do I develop that in him? Get him into that.
First of all, you got to be patient with him, because 2 is about patience. You can't force. If you've ever shot them, they would 2 children withdraw, like very hurt, because they are super sensitive, So you can catch more bees with honey. You can, say, listen, maybe, just maybe you could learn how to program, because 2s are excellent programmers. Okay, they're excellent architects. They're excellent engineers. That's some of the many sides associated with that number, and to begin to gently persuade him into other gifts as well. And things like that. But right now, all kids love videos. I can't think of any kid that's not into video games, and that's how they design it, to keep you occupied in other things. But he needs a hug twice a day, mommy. Okay, that's your son.
He gets them.
From you, Dad, he needs a word of encouragement. You can do that. And let me tell you the power of words. We should all tell our children we love them. All my children, I sign up and say, I love you, Stray, or I love my daughter. You would be surprised psychologically what the word does to a person. And even we adults like to be loved. So while you got him like that, yeah, I love you, son. Wow, I love that, son. That was great. Yeah, do that again. You know what I'm saying? And these things are encouraging, because we have been programmed to discourage each other. We have programmed each other. We have been programmed to be what is called here, crabs in the barrel. I can easily knock you down. I can easily talk bad about you. I can easily point out all your flaws, your defects, your frailties. But in no way do I encourage you about, you have this gift. Do you know you can do this? Do you know you can do that? But we're busy knocking each other. And I'm saying, once we get out of that, let me tell you this. When Napoleon, the general, went through China in the 1800s, he saw within that nation at that time something happening. And he referred to China as the sleeping giant. I'm here to tell you, in this 21st century, the real sleeping giant is Africa. That's the real sleeping giant. In fact, when Africa totally wakes up in this consciousness, it's going to make China look like a plaything. Seriously. And if you notice, all the resources, everything that goes into your phones and TVs are all products, diamonds, and stuff that comes out. What?
I got one last question. I'm going to jump off so somebody else can come up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So are you're saying that the born day is more important than the life path number? I should focus more on the born day numbers?
It's more immediate.
Okay.
The life path is what you want to learn for a long time. When I talk to people, they say, okay, that's good to know down the road. I got this and that coming. But yo, what's up right now?
Okay.
New York City, living in New York City. So your date of birth is more immediate, but your full date of birth, which is determining your destiny number, is more long range.
Okay.
So if you are a long range planner, then it's good to know that. But most people I know is in the immediate, like, okay, when is this happening? What's up for yesterday, or whatever the case is. Good question.
Okay.
Good question, Joe. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for. I'm gonna drop down.
Yeah, get the hell out of here, Makins.
Lloyd,
Yeah.
Someone asked a question about seeing all fours in March.
Well, it's interesting. I have a chapter in my book on numbers in you called The Power of the Subconscious Mind, or Subconscious Thought, or Thought Use. A lot of the conscious knows way in advance, and a lot. To give you an example, Terry and Richie, both of you, because you don't know what I'm going to do, Terry and Richie, I want you to write down the three numbers that come to your mind right quick. Anyone, and tell me, please, and then I'll explain the lady, and then I'll explain your situation. You, Terry, what's the 3 numbers you came up with?
I came with 3, 10, and 6.
Okay, so the 10 becomes a 1 to me because I synthesized it. Okay. So Richie, what numbers did you come up with, buddy?
7, 27, and 26.
Okay, good. All right, good. I will explain you guys in just a moment after I take care of the beautiful lady. She says she saw 4, 44, 44, 44. If I'm not mistaken, that she flashed it across the screen. It means subconsciously this. If the nature of her question in the back of her mind is a yes or no, it means no is the answer right now, but it'll probably turn out to be yes later on. It also tells me that this person is probably thinking subconsciously that they need to tighten up their act, tighten up their home, tighten up their relationship, tighten up their health. And it also indicates that this person could be thinking about an Aquarius, a Leo, or a Gemini, or anybody born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st of any month in this nation. It means that in some way she wants to just really get her house in order, get it together. When she sees 44, 44, that adds up to 16. That tells me at some way, right now, she don't want to be bothered. Right now, everybody's locked in. So that might be her wish. Or she's looking closely how she can examine things more closely, how to get to the bottom of something. So there may be a question burning in the back of her mind that's been nagging at her, and she's trying to get it that she needs to deal with. Okay? So when I did your example, Terry, you gave me the number 316. That adds to 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. So if you back of your mind, don't forget the everything. It's a matter of the being trained.
It's freezing.
Not just on your own new, or bring something new to your presentation. Equation into the mix. It's interesting because your very first number was the number 3. That's the foundation number. So it tells me the person who asked the question was either born under Pisces or Sagittarius, or born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month. But yes is the answer to the question. And yes, there's something about you where you want to take the lead in some way, shape, or form. Now, when I did Richie, okay, his numbers are the 7, 9, and 8. So that means that Richie is ready to make some changes. He's like at a fork in the road. He's coming off an exit. And when he comes off this exit and comes to the traffic light, there's signs that are pointing in all different directions. So for him right now, subconsciously, his thing is, hey, yo, Richie, should I go in this direction? Should I go in the other direction? Or should I keep going? Or should I back up a minute, go a little further down the road, and then exit off again? It also means that his question is of a yes or no nature. Yes is definitely the answer to the question, and that a Gemini or Virgo would likely to be involved, which he is. And it's interesting. The first number that came out of his mouth is a 7, and he's born on a 7. So it's these kinds of things. Some of that's explained in my book, Numerology and Thought Reading.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Okay. The AB just came in. Please present yourself and ask your questions.
Yes.
Hi, AB.
Hey, good evening, my brother. Good evening,
Good
host.
sir.
I was born on January 31st, 76.
Okay.
Just wanted
So
to just read me.
did you, JB, did you have a specific question, or just want me to go with it?
Yeah, just go with it.
Bet. You are an air sign with an air number, my friend, which means your mind is always in a constant activity mode. So let's say when you go to bed tonight, the following day, Thursday, tomorrow, there's a big, exciting event coming up. You'll be in bed tossing and turning mentally, preparing what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, maybe what you might wear, how you're going to come in, stuff like that. And by the time you finally drift off, it's time to get up. 4 people love to be different. Sir, I know that you will have secret enemies through no fault of your own, because first of all, 4 rules the sign of Aquarius, and you are an Aquarius. So you would be a double Aquarian to me. And this is the age of Aquarius. The thing about 4 people, you're out things you is better than theirs, okay? You will attract odd and unusual relationships. So I know coming up as a young kid, when you started dating or courting, as my mother used to say, one of the first things your mom or dad says is like, son, where did you find her at? What's that about? You know what I'm saying? And you'll get women that are either strikingly attractive, and guys will say, like, yo, man, how you get that? Or you'll find some women that are kind of like weird or strange. Everything about you is not normal. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that you are very different and unique in your own way. And you would do well in things like the mechanical, mathematical sciences, computers, technology, engineering. Good with your hands, too. Things need to be fixed around that house because they're shut in. Eventually, it'll work your nerves, and you will figure out how to do just that. Very sensitive, by the way, very high-strung, very easily wounded in your feelings. But when I did your personal year, which is a technique, instead of taking the year you were born, I took the year I want to know.
There is a freeze there.
Journey. 9 normally denotes some kind of closure in your life that started back in September, October, where you woke up one day, JB, and you said, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need that. You might have been looking at somebody walking the fence in your life and says, you know what? I don't need you either. Y'all out of here. And this also means not only cutting away negativities, but also negative ways of how you think, negative actions of how you might do, or whatever the case is like that. And you also get kind of moody, and you prefer to be your own best company too. But this is your year to avoid anybody that want to argue, fuss, fight, conflict, drama. You don't need it. Actually, had it not been for the shutdown, you would have probably tried to embark on a long distance trip this year, either across the pond coming here or going to some other part of the world. But this is your year at the same time to fulfill some of your dreams too. So if you've had something for the longest sitting on the back burners of your life, now is the front to put it up front and center and make it happen.
Okay.
By the way,
are you happy with that?
Say it again, brother.
His lucky numbers are his lucky numbers, by the way, are the 4, 1, and 5. And Sunday, Monday, and Wednesdays are his best days.
Okay. Was you happy with that, AB?
Yes, thank you, man. You was on point. I appreciate it, God.
Yeah. So, because I got to let some others in. So,
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. All right.
I'll keep it shorter.
Okay. M Brown.
Yes, evening. Okay, so my date of birth is 9/7/73. I do have a question though as well.
That means you think your birthday is July.
Sorry, I can't hear. It's freezing. Sorry, I can't hear properly.
Would I be correct saying that, Terry?
What did he say again?
What did Brother Brown say?
My date of birth is
Is he born
9/7/1973.
the 9th of July?
1973.
Okay, so that means September 7th. September 7th?
July.
There. Okay. No, you know what's interesting? Because Richie is also sharing that same birthday with you, the exact same birthday. And when he told me, he says 7/9. Here in the West, we do the month first, then the day. I forget when I've gone to China and India and other parts of the world, they put the date first.
Yeah.
I'm born on the 16th of this month. Okay. Only here in the States do we kind of turn it around. So that's why I wanted to make sure, because I didn't want to read September 7th when you're actually July the 9th, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're born July the 9th, sometimes people will say you're kind of bipolar. And it's not in a medical sense. Bipolar in a sense that there are times you're extreme. Somebody's laughing. I don't know who that is. But you're very, very sensitive. Huh?
That's her name, Sapphire.
Oh, hi,
She's
honey.
trouble. She's trouble. Trust me. Don't worry about her. She's trouble.
Okay.
No. Let me tell you this. Her birthday indicates, when I say bipolar, her birthday indicates on one hand, she can be a sweetie pie. Absolutely irresistible. All you got to do is hug her and give her some sugar and she'll feel good about her day. Okay. But at the same time, if you come wrong with a game or come incorrect, that's the other side of the bipolar nature. And you're going to get a heavy dose of you better get up out of here. Okay. Because you don't play. Her birthday also suggests that whoever she dates, they probably have some connection with a uniform, a police officer, military person, construction, or handling tools, machines, or instruments, or she herself, before the shutdown, may have had a job or career where she herself wear a uniform or handle tools, machines, or instruments. But she's no joke. And she's easy to get along with. All you got to do is just stay on her good side. Don't play the sister. Let me tell you, she'll tell you, you play me, then boy, you get the other side that you don't want to hear. But other than that,
Did you hear that, M. Brown? Be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't play the sister. That's all I can tell you. Because if not, you're in trouble.
All right. Melanated Goddess.
Peace, Elder Lloyd. Pleasure to meet you.
Peace.
I kind of want to hear like what you have to say about me, but I do. I want to like right now. Me and my son are not really getting along, and he is a Cancer, and I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay, I see. You are Sagittarius, November or December? Which is it?
December.
December what?
2nd. I'm a number 2 that you were talking about.
Okay, so therefore, I see why your son is a Cancer, because the number 2, when I was describing initially about the numbers from 1 to 9, rules a sign of Cancer. So so that means your numbers will be the 2, 7, and 3. Okay, since you're a Sagittarius, that means your son could either, as a Cancer, be born on July the 2nd, the 3rd, the 7th, or July the 11th, the 12th, or the 16th, or July 21st, July 20th, 21st, or 25th of the month. What's your son's birthday, in fact?
June. He's a June Cancer, June 24th.
Well, 2 plus 4 is 6. That's one of the numbers. Listen, go back into June. Because remember, when I was saying the numbers, it's late June into July. And since his numbers would be a 6 in it, that would kind of make sense to me. Let me tell you about your son. You have what is called a good-looking young man. In fact, you boast and stick your chest out that you did good work when you brought this boy into the world, okay? You'll find that he was a crowd pleaser or a teacher's pet in school. You never have no problems. How old is your son, by the way?
He is 19.
Yes, well, I'm willing to bet you in his earliest stages, elementary, when you would go to check him on him in school, they say, oh, Miss So-and-so, we never have your problem out your son. Your son is so nice. He's either the crowd pleaser or the teacher's pet. His birthday indicates he has a lot of areas to go to, and each one of them point to success. One of them is the world of the arts, from singing to musicianship, to artistry, to designing, fashion, things of that nature. He would do well in another area connected to business, like real estate, banking, working for the government, law. He would also do well in the third category, which is the area of service. A nurse, a lawyer, a nurse, a teacher, a doctor, social worker, human resource person. So he has a lot of hats. But I can tell you one thing that intrigues him right now, activities, because your son should be very athletically involved, especially where a ball is concerned, whether it's a volleyball, racquetball, tennis ball, you name it. If there's got a ball at the end of the word, he'll probably give it a shot. And he's also very good with people. And he's always helped by influential women. I will say this from his birthday. He has to be careful with anything he mounts, like a bicycle, a motorcycle, because his birthday suggests caution from falls. So he may have had a bad fall out of a tree, a bad fall out of a bicycle at an earlier stage in his life, and whatever. So whenever he's on any device, whether it's jet skis, whether motor scooter, whether motorcycle, whether bicycle, whether horse, he should always put on a helmet. He should always protect himself because he tends to trip a lot too. He's not klutzy. He just tends to trip easily. And he will always have influential females in his life, whether it's a mother, a sister, an auntie, a grandmother. But the influential men will be there, but more so the women. That's all. And his lucky numbers, by the way, are the 6, 2, and 7. And your numbers are the 2, 7, and 3. So you'll have the 2 and the 7 as a common denominator. But then again, you got to understand when we guys hit that teenage stuff, you moms don't know nothing. Okay? Once you understand that, you ain't going to have no problems, get upset. Don't worry about it. He'll be fine. Because one day he's got to come back because there are things called full circle and he will come back your way.
How was that for you?
I just wanted to say, just for the listening audience, my son has broken bones about like 4 or 5 times in his life. So just tripping up the stairs caused him to break a bone in his wrist. Yep. So it's really like the things you were saying about him being prone to accidents and and the first listed was real estate, and that's the direction that he's moving into right now. So it was really he's going to make you some money. He's going to make you a ton of money, whichever area, whether it's the arts, business, or service to the community or the nation. He is going to make you a lot of money. I guarantee you. And here in the States, he will send you to Disney World. I don't know where they send you over there in the UK. Okay, but he's going to send you somewhere that you like. I'm in the States with you. So. Oh, okay, yeah. He's going to do you proud. And by the way, as I said, he's a good-looking young man. The only challenge with him, he gets very stubborn when he's on his bad side. He's a nice guy. Yeah, buddy. I think you know him. You sound like you know him.
That's why my numerology course, How to Read a Person Like a Book. And each and every one of you at the sound of this or looking at this can do the same thing, but it's going to come with practice. A lot of people want to be there, but they don't want to put in the effort and the energy, which is practice, and more practice and applications and whatever. And then that's how you become good.
One last question, and I know people are waiting. I just wanted to understand the use of the numbers as opposed to like your sun sign, or should you use your moon sign or ascending? Like
there are many factors, but I combine the best of both worlds and I keep it simple. When you said December the 2nd, I said to myself, she's a fire sign with a water number. And so she is a Sagittarius 2 person. This is why all Sagittarians aren't the same. All Leos aren't the same. All Geminis aren't two-faced. All these little stereotypes I like to give to all the signs. Your date of birth that modifies it. So Sagittarius is normally the sign of entertainment, from Richard Pryor, you name it, a host. I could spend a lot of time with that. But you bring to the sign of Sagittarius sensitivity, commitment, a love of things. You're very sensitive. You probably have your son's tooth, the first tooth that fell out that boy's mouth. You probably got it somewhere. Maybe you can't find it right this second. It might be in the sock drawer. It might be this, that, and other. But you've always sensitive. And one of the things about your sensitivity is you like to collect things, or you find it hard to throw things away. That choice is up to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Elder. And I'm going to be tuning in. Thank you again. Thanks, Black Eyes TV, for just this opportunity and
thank you.
information.
Thank you. Thank you. And Terry. Or
Not
Richie?
a problem. Elder, do you want to answer that quick question? Yeah.
What
I was going to
question
say, do you want to answer that quick question on the screen before we get to the sister sci-fi? This, I see numbers repeatedly, 1s and 2s.
We've got MA Brown first.
Because the sister was asking this question for a hot minute from earlier, that's why.
Okay, but I think she's the same one that sent in 444. Now she's sending in 4 1s, which is a 4. She's sending in 4 2s, which is 8, which is half of 4. She's sending in a 6, and she's sending in 19 that adds to 20. So the first one means she's getting it together. The second one means the 2 series, 2 series means in some way, shape, or form she want to make a major move, or there could be a heavy commitment on her mind, like a possible engagement, marriage, pregnancy, business, something property with real estate, because both the 2 and the 12 have something to do with relationships and personal matters around the home, family, a relationship, pregnancy, stuff like that. And at the last one, 19, it does suggest that she's ready to make some changes wherever she are. She's probably ready to feng shui her house. If she's an essential worker, as they describe it here in the West, has got to go to work. She's probably rearranged her working area. And she's probably maybe just trying to see if she can patch up a relationship that's maybe went sour or went west for whatever reason. That's how I would break these numbers down that she sees. Okay. And the first one represents Aquarius, the second one a Capricorn, the third one a Taurus, and the last one a Cancer.
M.A. Brown, you can speak now. M.A. Brown?
Hello.
Hello, M.A. Brown? Okay, sci-fi. You can go. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, hi.
Okay. Good afternoon. How you doing, Elder?
Fine, good afternoon.
Okay, so my birthday is 5/29/75. What can you tell me?
I can tell you right now that you need a hug twice a day, that you're very fussy and very particular about things, that if I want to take you out on a first date, it shouldn't be at Mickey D's, okay? Trust me, it'll be my last date because your thing is I could do the dollar meal all by myself, okay? But if I take you to a beautiful restaurant with great food and a wonderful ambiance and music, because you like to dance, by the way. So I keep you dancing, okay? I definitely swing you around, especially since we locked in. I turn on some music. Come on, girl, let's swing around. You be fine, you know? And you got an eye for detail. You do not miss a trick. I would never, ever play you. I really wouldn't. And in fact, you're kind of a softie in a sense that you're perceptive. And yet, for example, if I was dating you and I brought you 1 rose, that would be almost as nice if I brought you a dozen roses. Not that you wouldn't want a dozen roses, but the fact is the little things that count for you. And you pay attention to the smallest details. You know, you go out the house and you come back and somebody halfway turned around, you say, honey, who been up in here? Okay. You want to know how you know? And so people think you are anal or like caught in the minutia. But let me describe you. You will be like the nuts and bolts of life. I'm sitting at a table. Soon as I unscrew all these little nuts and bolts, you know what it does? Falls apart. So you have a big role to play in the scheme of things. Every number does. And if your numbers, you bring sensitivity, awareness, perception. Career-wise, you would have done well in areas connected with food business, a vegetarian, caterer, semi-vegetarian, preparer, restaurateur, or know how to burn in pots and pans where a person asks for 2-3 plates and gets 1. You would have done well in the social areas from counseling, social work, psychiatry, psychology. You would have, because you're a good listener. People always come to you. I'm willing to bet you burn some food sometime listening to people when you should have been paying attention to what you was cooking, okay? Had to probably start all over again. All right. Yeah, girl, so-and-so. And yeah, what about this and so and so and so? And they say, well, how can I go to the moon? You don't know nothing about going to no moon, but they're going to ask you anyway because you're a good listener. Okay. And your lucky numbers are the 2, the 7, and the 6. Health-wise, if you have any concerns, it's always with the stomach and digestive tract. Because if you notice how the 2 is written on a piece of paper, symbolically, it's almost shaped like the intestines of the stomach. I didn't make that up. This is how numbers work. So therefore, I know that if you have anything, it's with the stomach and digestive tract, sensitivities with the reproductive organs or female problems, as you would call it to us as men, okay? It also rules diabetes, hemorrhoids, tumors, ulcers, things like that. As a Gemini, it also tells me your hands, arms, and shoulders. So if you have any problems, it's more to the left side of your body. If your arm is acting up, your shoulder is acting up, it's probably more on the left side than the right side. This particular year for you, you are in a cycle of transition. Things are iffy, up in the air, a lot of uncertainty. And right now, you wish to either fall in love or fall out of love, all depending on how things been going over the last month or two, which is none of my business, okay? And also, and not only that, but this year is about being patient. There's a side of you that you can be forceful, but this year says you use the power of persuasion. You use that power that only a woman possesses. This is how Samson in the Bible got his butt in trouble, okay? In the Bible, when the Pope went after Samson, he sent the army, and so the movie goes, or the theory goes, or the Bible goes, he beat them all back with an ox jaw. Then what did the Pope do? He sent little old Delilah up in there, bro, looking good, smelling good. She ain't have no knife, no gun. Oh, Samson, you smell so good. Oh, Samson, your muscles has seduced him. Okay, that's your persuasion issue, and you can do that anyway. When you want somebody, you can charm a bird out of a tree. The thing that is, okay? If you want something.
You are so right. Oh my God! And I'm in a relationship with Richie, and I'm a Gemini. And you said something about
Richie. His numbers are 7, 2, and 5. Your numbers are the 2, 7, and 5. I can make this up. It's in my book. That's why I tell people, don't believe me, read my book. It's right there. So you two are made for each other. You two are ruled by the common sign of Mercury, the Mercury. Okay? And if you always get married or bonded, I would always, and y'all got the same days, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Y'all got the same days. Same days, same dates. Your dates would be the 2nd, the 7th, the 2nd, the 5th, the 7th, then the 11th, the 14th, the 16th, then the 20th, the 23rd, 25th, and finally the 29th. That's you, and so is his.
Wow.
Y'all got the same energies. Y'all are really in sync, and y'all know how to leave each other alone, too.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it.
Blessings. Thanks for letting me get in your business. That was fun.
Okay, bye.
MA. It doesn't seem like he's answering. But yes,
wow.
Lloyd, if there was something for us in its understanding, because I can't see this guy. Hold on.
Okay.
Are you there, MA?
Yeah. I just came back.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he was on earlier. Mr.
Yeah.
Brown, I believe. Yes. Okay.
Greetings, Lloyd, Elder. Big up.
This is another one. This is another MA. That was AB.
Hold on. I can hear you. I need to plug it in. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because I think.
Ooh. He'll be back. He just knows something. People, I hope you're loving this, and please share and subscribe and press the like button as we wait for him to come back. I'm hoping that you're enjoying this.
Yeah, like the video, please, people. Yeah, I'm seeing people coming in, asking questions. Hit the like button. Hit that like button. I cannot stress it enough, please, people. So the video gets promoted. Then share it. The elders dropping gems.
There is love.
Yeah.
Anyway,
shut up.
Saying, stop. This is a professional platform, please. No swearing, please. as we were saying, tomorrow hopefully we'll be in Ghana. Friday we'll be having Westside Academy. Saturday we'll be having Dr. Mayat, and then on Sunday it's all about the women, and they're going to be talking about the health and the yoni egg and the yoni steam and all them lovely stuff for women. So that will be on Sunday, 5 o'clock, with the International Sister Circle. So if you want to get engaged or you want to get involved, please do. So let me just find out, Richie, create the conversation, because I'm going to find out what's going on.
Getting back on there.
I think I should be back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, we can hear you, Elder. That's
Okay.
all.
All right. Okay, good enough. Good enough. I'm back.
So, Brown, ask your questions.
Yeah. So I've dabbled in a little bit of numerology in my teens. I kind of moved away from that. My dad was into it quite a little bit. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. You gonna say something?
No. I'm just saying. I'm listening, Brother Brown. Go ahead.
Yeah. To the point where I was. I used to know how to do the equations to sum up names and birthdays and so on and so forth. But I've been more into astrology for a lot longer. A lot of the way that I kind of approach it is less so from academia and more from observations of people. So I've started to apply it more to my observations, and I now use it as a language to help guide me, especially with people I don't know.
Exactly. Perfect.
So, yeah, I've been able to guess certain people's star signs. I remember one particular occasion was when I met a couple, and I spent about 2 or 3 weekends on the bounce with them, and I was able to guess both of their star signs based on the interactions they had with me individually, based on the interactions that they had with each other, and then also other people that I brought to them, and those people I brought to them, I knew their star sign already, so I was able to kind of,
Well, here's the question. Here's my little challenge for you, Brother Brown. I don't think I revealed my birthday, but my character, what sign do you think I would be? I just want to see what you're talking about.
I was just in the bathroom thinking about it for a second. And I don't know, to be honest. Your delivery is quite accurate. Like you deliver with accuracy, which is the only real thing I can take from. Like, you're quite lucid in the way that you deliver the information. That I wouldn't be able to guess on that basis alone. But I feel like you're off. Nah, I'm not gonna guess. I'm not gonna guess.
It's all right. It's all right. Welcome to me.
I feel like you're a fire sign. But
no, I'm an air sign though. I'm an air.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And what's your birthday, Brother Brown, please?
My birthday is 10th of March, 83.
10th of March. The 10th of March. So it's not March the 10th.
Yeah, it's March the 10th. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, first of all, for you are a water sign and a fire number. When I teach students privately, one of the first things I do is I start by the elements that God has given us: earth, wind, fire, air. And so you are Pisces, which means water. And that would indicate people who are intuitive and sensitive. And in fact, as you know, studying astrology, they refer to your sign of Pisces as the psychic sign anyway of the zodiac. Of course, they call it the house of karma, the house of self-undoing, all this other stuff. It's interesting. We always want to rag somebody, but on the positive side, that's the part of it too. But then you are a fire number because you're born on the 10th day. 1 + 0 is 1. 1 is ruled by Leo, and the planet that rules Leo is the sun, whose element is fire. So that means you bring sensitivity, which is the water component, and yet you bring the fire, which means passion, energy, get up and go and drive to get things done. That's what you do. And it tells me, by the way, you probably wear glasses and that your right eye is a little bit sensitive than your left eye if you do. And it also rules sometimes the lower back, a little concern with the lower back, heart palpitations, or irregular blood circulations, all depending on how well you've kept your health. Okay, but you're very determined. You do not take orders well. And this is your year. You got to be careful of getting somebody pregnant because you're in a pregnancy cycle. And since we men don't get pregnant, okay, that leaves the other side of the equation. And here's what I mean also, too. It's not that it has to be a biological pregnancy, but you give birth to an idea, a project, a plan, an enterprise, an endeavor. You see what I'm saying, Brother Brown?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. But this is your year to make some major moves. That's the point, buddy. That's the point. And you have to be in your reputation cycle too. So whatever you want, you should go for it nonstop. By the way, do you wear glasses or recommended you should wear glasses?
No, I've got quite good eyesight. The blood circulation and heart palpitations thing is very accurate. But the eyesight is doing me well. I think all the carrots I used to eat when I was a kid is
well, here's the thing too. That means if you don't have problems with your eyesight, that means on a bright UK sunny day there, you probably walk around where you be looking like Ray Charles or Michael Jackson with some shades on, looking like a Hollywood celebrity. Okay, you wear shades on bright sunny days when it's there?
No, I don't. You know what? I make a conscious effort to never wear glasses actually, and to open my eyes as wide. Open my eyes as wide as possible. Open my eyes as wide as possible.
You're about the second or third person that told me that they wore glasses. They like anything we do, we become dependent on it. So that maybe that was a good move on your part. But anyway, though, I know whoever you are, you don't take orders well, and you need to have your own establishment. And as a kid, you might have thought about going into the world of law, medicine, or science, or even closely connected with it now as an adult. Okay. But I tell you this, you're very independent, very self-reliant, and refreshingly honest that what people see is what they get. And you're not mean about it. But if you're a knucklehead, you're a knucklehead. Go figure.
That's funny. The pregnancy thing was interesting because I think both examples that you gave are, well, not imminent, but yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm married, so the pregnancy thing is not a problem. It'll be more of a blessing. So,
what is your wife's birthday, by the way, if you don't mind?
Say that again, sorry?
What's your wife's birthday? Since you're
no, we were going to give you that as well because she can't come. She's in the kitchen at the moment. So her birthday is the 25th. Did you?
Listen, she may be in the kitchen, but her ears is not, okay? Her ears is right by you. All right. She's the 25th.
25th of February 1986. She can hear us.
She's like
no.
Sorry.
I made a mistake. 25th. All right.
It's the 25th
okay.
Trouble.
of January.
Big trouble. Okay. Let us try this again. Mrs. Say, sir.
Pardon?
Say that again. Sorry.
No. What did your wife say? Now that you got it straight, or she got you straight, what did she say? What is it?
The 25th of January.
The 25th of January. That makes you an Aquarius.
Yes.
So you are an air sign with a water number. Your husband is a water sign with a fire number. It is that fire and air combination that motivates each other. And because you are ruled by air, and that attracts his fire. And then he's got elements of the Pisces, which is water, which would attract your number. Because in fact, the number 7 rules does well in the months of Cancer, or July, which is Cancer, and March, which is Pisces. So that would make sense. Way are the 1, 4, and 3, where your numbers there are the 7, 2, 4, and 1. You're very strong-willed. You're very determined. I'm sure Brother Brown has found out you got a mind all your own. So he might balk some orders and you say, okay, and still do what you got to do, because that's how you roll. You can be very sarcastic, very analytical with people, and a specialist. Whatever your forte is, you know it well. Nobody says, are you sure you know what you're talking about, Mrs. Brown? If you are on it, you're on it. And if not, you got enough sense to know how to go and find out how it is done or how to resolve things. The only thing is sometimes you worry more than you need to, or you have weird or strange dreams that, like, we wake up and say, well, what is that about? You know?
That's true.
Okay. There's a question that's been put up. A lady with 2 children. One's on the 12th of November and the other one's on the 18th. It's the girl called Chloe that she said her birthday's on the 26th of November.
Yeah, she's the one that explained earlier.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: this in 3. Okay. However, if you look at the first one who's born on the 12th of November, he or she's numbers are the 3, 6, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
This same number, but in a different sequence. But now look at the one that's born on 18th. She's born on the 27th. 2 plus 7 is 9. And this child is born on the 18th. 1 plus 8 is 9. Okay. And so since she's a fire sign and he is a air sign, this would make sense because the child, the first one born November 12th, is water. So water is used symbolic to extinguish fire. Love.
Can you hear? You're freezing, Lloyd. Hello?
Yeah. I have no idea. Okay. Alrighty. I hope it should be good now. But at any rate, for the one that's born on the 12th of November, that's the talkative one. That's the one that's always got something to say. And in fact, when her child was little, this one, if she didn't hear anything, she needed to get up from where she was and go see what that child is doing, like writing on the walls, stuff like that. The one that's born on February the 18th has, if it's a boy child especially, has a very good opinion of themselves. They think they're all of that. And they would probably want to go into an area where they want to go into law enforcement, military, or handle tools, machines, or instruments. And this particular child, of any of them, are more accident prone, nicks, cuts, burns, bruises, falls, breaks, things like that than anything. But all her children, by the way, this particular child of hers, her numbers, his or her numbers are the 9, 4, and 1. Yeah, because, but 9 is between them. Okay.
Yeah, because the mother's 27th of November. The child is the 13th, and then that one's the 18th. So the mother's a 9.
Yeah, she's a 9. The other child born on the 18th is a 9, but the one that's born on the 12th from that birthday configuration, their numbers are the 3, the 6, and the 9.
And the two children are girls.
Oh, girls. Okay, good. So they're both fighters. They're both fighters. In other words, you know what about Miss Jones? She's not going to have to worry about boys taking advantage of her daughters, especially the one on February the 18th. She'll say, you know, my mother says she don't like you. Okay. And that's it. And she, you know, so I would say she has strong-willed children that have a lot of confidence. That's what I would encourage with them. She has children that want to go places. The only one about the daughter born on the 12th, she has to teach her how not to let other girlfriends and people take advantage of her kindness, her resources, her creativity. But the one that's born on the 18th, she's a fighter straight up and down, just like her mama. Okay. She don't play.
Okay.
And Sci-Fi Living, thank you very much. She said something, but thank you.
Mama Z. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon. So what's your name and your birthday?
My name is Sophia. And my birthday is June 18th. Sophia.
Sophia. Okay, Sophia. Got it. Got it. Okay. Did you have a question, Sophia?
Really about my son, but my birthday is June 18th, 1967.
Got it. What about your son that you're concerned about? What's his birthday?
Just August 24th, 2006. And just
August 24th. Okay.
Is he going to finally get his bearings Yeah.
How old is he now?
Is he gonna finally get his bearings? He's 13.
Okay, but how old is he? He's
2006.
15.
He was born.
He's 15.
13.
13. Well,
13.
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Right now, I would say yes is to the answer. You know, it's always been a given that girls mature faster than boys. Okay, a 13-year-old daughter is at a much more mature level than a 13-year-old young man. Okay, and in fact, I often advise women who date men, whatever the age is, subtract 7 to 10 years off the biological age, and you got the psychological age of the guy you're dealing with. Okay, so this is why a woman will say to me, I got 2 kids. So when I ask about the second child, she'll say, oh, you mean my man? This to her acting like a child. So what I'm saying is, so your son is definitely going to get it together from the birthday you gave me, because if he's born August the 24th, he's an earth sign with an earth number, which means he's very pragmatic, very grounded, use a lot of common sense, but at times and points he will be stubborn in his ways, but you'll have the same identical numbers. I will explain. You're born on the 18th of June. 1 + 8 is 9. So therefore, 9 is your most important number. And since you come under the sign of Gemini, that governs the number 5. And the number to 5 and 9 is the 6. Well, what happens? Your son is born on the 24th. 2 + 4 is 6. He's born under the sign of Virgo, which is a 5. And the other number that goes well with 5 and 6 is a 9. So where your numbers are the 9, 5, and 6, his numbers are the 6, 5, and 9. You got all the same numbers. And except here's the point. There are certain numbers that are very antagonistic. The antagonistic number to the number 6, his number is the number 4, is 8. 1 + 3 is 4. So I would say he's going to have challenges around when he was 4 years old, if you could remember, at 13, at 22, at 31, at 40, and 49, and 50, 58. These will be these ages up the road. Every time he hits that age, it adds up to a 4. It may be a challenge. So for right now, at 13, it could be a challenge in school. Right now, as you know, he is now going through those stages of puberty. He's becoming a man child, okay? Get a little hair up under his arm, ding dong, all that other stuff. So he's trying to find himself. And don't forget, we were once these ages ourselves, okay? And I remember at one time, I didn't think my mother and father knew anything. Now I'm dazzled how like unintelligent I was, you know, but we do that. I guess it's a process, a human process of life. I don't know. But both my mother and father knew what they were talking about. I just didn't get it. He doesn't get it yet, but don't you worry. You stay the path. But I will tell you this, from your birthday, it gives me a strong hint that the father of your son has some connection with a uniform, police officer, military guy, construction, mechanic, toolist, machinist. By any way, is the father of your son, has his career or background been in any career occupation where he had to wear a uniform and handle tools, machines, or instruments?
He's a photographer.
Okay. Has he always been a photographer?
Yes.
Okay, what is his birthday, if I may ask right quick? Because your son got all your...
7.
He's what?
7.
Okay,
7,
no.
7, 66.
7. Right, so he's the strong silent type, so to speak, very reserved. 7s and 9s get along very well together too. I would say of the two, you're stronger than him, and that doesn't take any away from his manhood. Feel what I'm saying? When I say
Absolutely.
that, you know, we men got this notion, oh, I can lift this table and she can't. I'm not talking about that kind of strength. Women got strength that we men can't imagine. Why you think God has assigned the women to bring life into the world, not us guys? Okay, we talk a lot of talk, but we don't have that inner strength that a woman has that we guys will not have a clue about until they live that life, I guess, in that fashion. So, but anyway, the father of your son, he worries a lot. He's a perfectionist, but it tells me if photography is his forte, he's probably extremely good at it. And probably his subject matters are children, elders, and pets. Do you know what his subject matters are, by any way? Or he takes pictures of everything. Any and everything.
Of everything. Yes, he is the best at it, though.
Okay, I know that. If he's a 7, I know he's good. The only thing is he worries. And he likes to sleep with no clothes on, too, which is none of my business.
Okay.
That's not for
That's
competition. It's
funny.
just, you know, just a sidebar that came out of my mouth. Okay.
Okay. We got to ask her
Yes.
one more question.
Thank
Question.
you. I signed up for your class also. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. And if you got questions, just say you heard me on Black Ice TV or Terry and Richie. And believe me, I make everybody who writes to me a priority. Really do. So you will hear from me. There's no question. And thank you in advance, young lady, for signing on to the course.
I appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, so there's a question asked from one person. I've just put it up. Can you see it?
Yes, I'm trying to get on, but not getting through. They're calling from Trinidad. I've been in Trinidad. In fact, Kaya French and I did a show in Trinidad called Should I Stay or Go? And in fact, the show ran in Trinidad for 18 weeks on Synergy TV there in Trinidad. But whoever this person is, I would say I get the impression it's a woman. This woman is very much misunderstood through no fault of her own. So if I had to hang a motto over her door there in Trinidad, I would say to know Mary is to love Mary. She's sensitive. She's a strong defender of the underdog. She doesn't like to see people down and out and destitute and homeless, I should say. She's very unique in her own way too. She's always attracted odd and unusual relationships. Sometimes the people that she deeply loved didn't love her the same way. And sometimes the men that deeply love her, she didn't feel the same way either. So it was like one of those Shakespeare movies, Much Ado About Nothing, where I love her, she don't love me, she love him, but he don't love her. And, you know, it just goes on and on, circling around. But she's very different. She would be good in the mechanical, mathematical sciences, computers, radio, televisions, things of that nature. And since this year is the year of the 4, and she's born on the 13th, which is a 4, and 4 favors this year astrologically Aquarians and Leos other than Geminis, I say this woman has it really, really good this year. Except the thing is this. When I looked at her person,
Elder. Elder. It's a man. It's not a woman. It's a man. It's just
sorry, sir.
confirmed.
I just can't tell. If you can help with that way, that would be helpful. So thank you, sir, for getting me straight. But then, because that adds another shade, because men are more forceful and assertive in carrying out their things in the world, where women have a more holistic style of doing things. So in his case, it tells me that he definitely likes to think outside the box. He's definitely moody, where sometimes you don't feel like being bothered with nobody. You just can't stop by his house because you ain't got squat to do, and you happen to be in the neighborhood, because that's not going to fly with him. Okay. But I would say too, he's had the experience of having an older woman teach him a couple of things or two when he was coming up in life as well. All righty. And also, you will find that this year again is his year whereby he's either thinking about going back to church or getting involved in some spiritual development, getting a psychic reading, also having very interesting dreams if he's paid attention, like, what is that about? Why am I going through this? And why am I going through that? Those would be some of the interesting things, and therefore may be worried more than he needs to. But in signing off to get to the next one, his key numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. His best days are Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. And his best months are always in February, June, July, August, and September.
Okay. There's the lady, Leo, was it?
I see she's born on the 20th of August. She would be what I would call the sweetie pie in the zodiac sign. Huggable, lovable, affectionate, tender, romantic. More than likely, she probably was involved as a little girl in dance or theater, whether it was modern dance, African dance, ballet dance, something of that nature. 2 people I noticed like to collect things, or I'll say, or they find it hard to throw things away. 2 is also the psychic number, so she can read people very well too. So I would not try to play the sister, or you'll wind up getting played, okay? Her numbers also indicates that the little things count. She may be involved in things like a vegetarian, semi-vegetarian, or particular about her eating habits. And because she is born on August the 20th, that means that this is her year where she's at a point to turn her life completely around. It all depends on which area it is she wishes to, whether it's a career, a relationship, health, home, living space, travel, whatever. But a lot of opportunities are coming her way to take full advantage of, and which she should.
Okay, and one more is Takima.
Yeah, she is a water sign with an air number. That means she feels and she reasons. She's intuitive on one hand because Pisces is a psychic sign, as I was saying earlier, but she used her reasoning powers also. And because this year, 2020, adds up to a 4, and her birthday of 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. In some way, shape, or form, this is going to be a good year for her. And when I looked at it, honestly, she's in a relationship cycle this year, especially this month of April. In fact, she's in a romantic month, and coming up the week of the 22nd to the end of the month of April, she'll be in a pregnancy week. So she's going to have to be a little guarded, a little careful, all depending, or again, symbolically giving birth to an idea, an enterprise, or whatever. But she's very different, very unique. And she's attracted 4 types of relationships in her young life at this point: older men, younger men, men from different cultures, and long distance relationships, I guarantee you.
Okay. So now, before we come into more of a close,
yes,
I would like you to give us a kind of a forecast in the next 6 months.
Okay, here we are. Okay, so since this is the year of the 4, next month, well, we're still in April, so let's deal with that. So this is an 8 universal month. How I did it, once you get the year you're interested in, you just add that year number, in this case 2020, which adds to a 4, to the 4th calendar month, and 4 plus 4 is 8. Thus, April is an 8 universal month for everyone. So that means the stars will favor those under the signs of Capricorn this month, Aquarians this month, Librans this month, or people born on the 4th to 8th, the 13th to 17th, the 22nd, 26th, or 31st of the month. And this is a month for everybody to make some power moves up in this piece. Next month, May, we will be entering a 9 personal month, a 9 universal month. Now, 9 is a number that's very generous, very global, very universal, very inspirational. But to the negative, though, it means people who want to fuss and fight and fume and argue. Now, since people have been closed in and all up under each other, they're going to have to be more mindful and be more patient. So let's say you're on the, I don't know what you call your highways there. I think autobuses or something like that, longer auto zones and stuff. And let's say the cars have I used to tell my kids when cars kiss, okay, or you'll have an accident. Instead of getting out of the car, getting into a road rage, first of all, you should have car insurance, so that's going to be taken care of. The humanitarian part, which is the nature of a 9, is listen, are you okay? Are your people okay? Is your family okay? Am I okay? That's it. Instead of somebody then want to take out a bat, then somebody want to take out a pipe, and then next, somebody get hurt. And instead of them being able to drive home for dinner, they got to drive themselves to the police station and be arrested. Okay. So sometimes 9 for May is going to be, you got to think before you act. Think of the consequences. To give you an example, here in the United States, this person must have been a number 9, a 32-year-old woman. As you know, with this virus thing, we got to be 6 feet apart. Well, there was an elderly woman, 81, and they said she had a little dementia. She got a little too close to the lady. The lady pushed her to the ground. The lady hit her head, the elder, and died of her injuries. So now, what's the consequences? This lady wanted space where they're about to send her, because they now arrested her, put her on charge for murder. She ain't gonna have no space. So this is what a 9 does. A 9 will do something irrational, and then think later of the consequences. Well, that's what's going to happen in May. And which you're under the sign, we'll be under the sign of Taurus, which is fixed. It means people get set in their ways, and I ain't got to take none of this, none of that, and you do this, that, and the other. But then when you look at after the fact, after you calm down, it wasn't worth it at all. So now in June is the best time. June is the best time for everybody to start off fresh, start off new, start off in an independent fashion. I would say between June and September, a lot of this virus thing that's got everybody on lockdown will probably calm itself down more, because one always denotes new beginnings, new directions. The number one will favor those under the signs of Leo, Aries, Aquarius, where April, or May, I should say, will favor those under Aries, Scorpio, and Leo primarily. But in June, it means everyone is going to look at everything from a fresh perspective, a new concept, because that's why they call it the universal year, because every one of us, but to a greater or lesser degree, will go through these experiences. And then I'll stop at July, in July to be a master number year, which means it'll be a time for all of us to change our diet, improve our hygiene, be more conscious of how we interact with each other, and not take each other for granted. You'd be surprised. A lot of people nowadays don't even want to say good morning. You say good morning, you think you slapped their mother. You know, where that used to be a given. When you wake up in the morning, you count your blessings and say good morning. Now people, I don't know what's up with people. But anyway, that would be the best approach between now and July. And by the way, before I close, they can always hit me off on Instagram under Numbers and You, Twitter under Numbers and You, Facebook under Numbers and You. I know it sounds boring, but that is the name of my Bible book, which is Numbers and You, and LinkedIn under Numbers and You itself, or just type in the name when you get to those Lloyd Strayhorn. You'll find me that way. And for those, I want to thank you. My website, again, where people can sign on to the course, is Lloyd-Strayhorn, and I'll spell it again for those that's coming in at this point. It's LLOYD, Lloyd-Strayhorn, and that's spelled like it sounds, STRAYHORN.com, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. And just sign up for the course. Oh, by the way, you can also get your 2020 forecast on there too. And you can also hear interviews I did with T.D. Jakes, the evangelist, or Monique, the comic, or Layla Hathaway, the singer of Donny Hathaway's daughter. A lot of other things too. So anyway, I thank you very, very much. And I'd love to be back.
There was one person
to visit.
Yeah, there was one person which was on the 21st of April. She was a female, but
is this the 23rd or the 21st?
23rd.
The 23rd. She's born the same day as Shakespeare. Her birthday indicates whoever she is, she's extremely attractive. But I was advised any person to fall in love with her mind first, then being captivated by her body. Because you'll find that her mind is just as beautiful as her appearance, as beautiful as her figure, and that she has something to bring to the table in a relationship, something absolutely amazing. Of course, she ain't got no patience, so you can't play no games. Okay, you can't be slow, dull, or boring either. When you roll up to this sister, you got to be correct. You got to have something on the ball other than say, oh, mama, you look so fine and you look so good. She already knows that. Okay, so tell her something else the sister don't know. That's all I'm saying. And to Sci-Fi Living, who keeps promoting it, whoever she is, I love you very much. Thank you so much, hon. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you, mama.
All the descriptions and everything's in the description box. So if you want to go to his website and all the linkages to Lloyd, just go into the description box and you everything there, even to his classes and his app. So please do check it out. If you need any more information, inbox us and we will forward this to Lloyd. So
and I would like to say in closing, other than the United States, the USA, because I have close to now probably somebody took me over 800 students enrolled in less than 2 months. Second to the United States, the majority of my students that enroll are right there across the Yukon. They're in United Kingdom, right there.
Okay.
All right there. I thank every single one of you, every single one.
I
Thank
hope everyone's enjoyed this, and there'll be more to be coming soon. And more events and shows and all sorts will be coming through this crisis. So we're trying to give you as much information every single day. So from all different types of scholars, teachers, business people, any kind of black people that have a platform and want to come on, or if you have something to say or a PowerPoint you want to show, please come on board on Black Eyes TV, because we're trying to give the information as much as possible to everyone globally. So in saying so, if you have anything that you want to do and you want to display it, go to Black Eyes TV at gmail.com. I repeat, blackicetv7 at gmail.com. All right. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please share it around, and peace, love, and harmony. Spend black, believe in black, and always be black, because we are notorious and we'll be powerful once again.
Well, not only that, though, Terry, we have no choice but to be black, okay?
Because we are black.
Yeah. And let me tell you, and knowing that, it is very clear that we must understand we are the original man. Anything less than that, you're going to have problems anywhere you go. Until you understand that all source of life comes from the original man in Africa, you should never have no problem wherever you walk the earth. Nobody is allowed to intimidate you. No one.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Big fact.
We are going out.